We can start with DSTV podcast and chill.
Okay, DSTV podcast and chill. So, I'm continuing what I was saying before I started going into myself. So Kaya FM,
hires Sol Phenduka from podcast and chill,
and Sol Phenduka becomes, their most loved personality, I guess, right?
Okay,
that's what's happening right now.
Okay.
Purely because he's on podcast and chill.
You didn't support that move?
No, I did support that move.
Okay.
I did support that move because it allowed him to do both. Remember, I told you that I was actually having discussions with your faves nemesis about getting him onto the show in the first place. So I already knew.
Who's my fave and who's the nemesis?
Vusi Tembagwa is your fave and his nemesis is...
Right. As you were, Nota. Please carry on, sir.
I'm not a homosexual, though.
I've been seeing that on Twitter for people that don't know, man. Because Sizwe loves showing us his landscape. People have now started poking fun at... I don't know how I'd characterize this, but it's homosexual jokes, innuendos around him posting his things. Posting his things. Posting his yard.
He needs to show a video of him coming out of a cold swimming pool.
Please continue, sir.
That's it. If you post a video of him coming out of a cold swimming pool, then we'll see if it's really so big.
This is a family-friendly show, and we'll keep it moving. So you say you had a chat to Sizwe Dhlomo around the idea of getting Sol.
Well, no, about stopping him from going to 947.
Okay.
Because I knew that they would put in a bid, and I also suspected that Metro FM was also putting in a bid for him, and they would also stop him from going on the platform. So he did that, and him doing that, right, the sole purpose for that was to ensure that someone that's on radio can do podcasting simultaneously.
The sole purpose.
The sole purpose.
Yeah,
the sole purpose. Not the soul. The sole purpose. Right. And now when DJ Spoo then is in negotiations to go to Radio 2000, he doesn't have to give up the Hustler's Corner because
a precedent has been set.
With the sole purpose.
Hey, shout out to the soul.
So, I mean, for me, that's literally how I move. Like, I look at the whole entire landscape and I say, okay, what is needed in the landscape? How can I influence the necessary action that I want to see materializing in the space? So now he's able to do that. And with great success as well. You know what I mean? Fresh has also got a podcast.
He's going back to radio apparently as well.
I know that. But I mean, he's also got a podcast, but his podcast is not as successful as Spoo's podcast.
Yeah.
But before they either of them did podcasting, if you were to say who is the biggest brand, you'd say it's Fresh.
Sure.
Right?
At a time, yeah.
And the reason why you'd say that is because Fresh was the white friendly brand, whereas Spoo was the decidedly township friendly brand.
Sure.
And he stuck to that. And because Fresh stayed in that white space, once he was taken off of 94.7, which is basically the peak that you can go since the descent of 5FM into, what can you call it? It's descended into insignificance.
Cheers.
That's not the word I was looking at. Obscurity. Sorry. Yeah. So, yeah.
Please continue, sir.
So since that has happened,
I want you to get to the point of DSTV and podcast and chill.
I'm getting to that point.
Yeah.
So
you gave me permission, so
So I'm getting to that point. So I want to break it down as well as introduce information and layers that you wouldn't typically get from your normal reading, and that's also the type of thing that people tune into the content that I make when I'm being interviewed, is for insights that are not ordinarily covered in the media. So
Shy with Nota's wisdom.
So basically now we've got two homies, Anele on one side, right?
Anele Mdoda, yes. That's 94.7 and Prime Media. Sizwe Dhlomo, Kaya FM.
So I'm
Who owns Kaya FM?
Sizwe Dhlomo and others.
It's not under another holding company somewhere. It's not like Power FM.
I don't know, but I think there's some big media company that Sizwe Dhlomo is a part of that now controls Kaya FM. It's
Two homies, Anele Nota and Sizwe Dhlomo.
So I'm like, yo, hey, your other homie's company is trying to take Soul and kill Podcast and Chill. Please take him and take that off the table. And that was done.